starting sing live now, but 10 is fine. But let's talk to all the cool guys we have here. Got a bunch of people. We got more people coming in. It's going to be a fun night. I've got some of the coolest people in comics. First, let's talk to the coolest person in comics. I like him better than all the other people on this panel. So make sure that everyone knows that they are below this guy. And that's David. David.
Hello.
Were you excited? You didn't think it was you.
You jazzed me up. It's almost as good as Blake jazzing me up, but you didn't like shout it in my ear. So,
how are you tonight, David?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Doing some cool stuff, talking some comics. Here's some ideas of what Travis here to get some ideas. Oh, awesome.
It is still your ideas, it seems.
I mean, somebody's got it, right? It's the only way you know you made it if somebody steals something.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. All right, and we also got Evan. Evan's a really cool guy. He's not been in a lot of my shows. I love him. Dude's hustling. Evan, did I piss you off? Are you trying to do as many books as me? Like, what's going on? Like, I know that you have more done than I do in the back end. I think I have 2 that aren't live that are done. I think you said last time we talked at like 5 or 6.
Oh, I think I have 8 at this point. Now that I'm doing all my future campaigns as double issues too. So I don't know if you count those as 1 or 2, but no, I'm the standard comic creator that loves making comics and hates selling them. I just haven't rectified that I have to actually do it to maintain my longevity.
Right. And you've got, David, you've got like 2 projects unannounced, right? So you've got probably at least 2 in the folder, and then Nottingham, the stuff we know about, right?
One that hasn't been announced yet. Some stuff that's like in like pitching limbo, but yeah,
sure.
You know.
I know.
You know.
And let's go. The proofreader extraordinaire, Cats. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
The cats are visiting, clearly.
The cats are visiting. It's Apollo and Mina.
And look at this haircut. You did your hairs and you cut.
I did. I cut it all. I cut all my hair off.
Why? I mean, I like it. I just want to know why.
It was a mental health issue.
Okay.
So it got to the point where I had some other health issues going on, and just decided one day, for my own sake, just to cut it all off.
Right. I get sick of looking at myself sometimes too, and I shave my beard, but then my wife gets mad, so I have to grow it back. So I feel you.
The cats don't care.
Right. The cats zero cares.
Don't care.
We got James. How are you, James?
Greetings, everybody. Nice to be here. I also am missing some hair.
Right. Did you shave your hair as well, and in solidarity with Kat cutting her hair? Because that's beautiful, man.
I do my best. In all honesty, mine's different. Where your wife wants you to grow your beard, well, I wake up in the middle of the night with my wife holding a razor, trying to trim me up. So I got tired of the stalking.
At least that's her goal of the razor in the middle of the night. Some people wake up with a wife with a razor, and it's totally different.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're like, I'm okay with having no hair.
Dan Calvin saying hi. James Burton saying hi. Oh, well, it's James Burton saying hi to people or tagging people. Let them know we're live.
I was tagging people real quick as fast as I could.
And then the last but not least for right now, because we have, I think I have another row coming in. We've got Matt Knowles. How are you, Matt?
What's going on, man? I feel like maybe you're going from farthest away from where you live, starting in Australia, to closest to you and me physically, distance-wise. I kind of feel like maybe that was what the case was, so that's what I'm going to say. I'll take it as I'm the...
Here's the thing, man. Evans paid me for work, so he's second. David refuses to work with me, so therefore I love David. Like that's how you get me to love you. Like if you reject me, like I want you more. Like that's just the way it is. It's not.
Both of my collaborators on Nottingham Artwise have posted in the last couple of weeks about complaining about crowd scenes. So I feel like maybe I'm blessing you by not working with you.
I mean, I'm just paying a guy, so that's that guy's problem.
At least you're honest about your intentions. I like that, Travis.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. And then Kat has got money for me. She's doing some proof, and James has done some work for me. So James is good, and that's why you're last, Matt. Like you
You act like I haven't been in 5 of your anthologies, man.
Right.
Well, that's the problem. You've been in too much
Me
now.
money. David is not in my anthologies, and that pisses me off. So, like, this is where we're at.
Oh, I get it. I get it. David,
So-
Matt's actually done more anthologies than me. I'm like one below him. That's the
Right.
issue.
Exactly.
I get it. I get it.
This is Travis's equivalent of buying me dinner. That's all.
Right. It's basically, this list is like, where are you at currently? All right, you've done a lot for me. Go to the back. If you've done a little, you go to the front.
You like the chase.
We've got Mr. Jeff Weber in the chat. What's good, gentlemen? We've got Kat here too, so it's not all
That's
gentlemen.
okay.
But
Hi, Tom.
just gave Dottie a massive crowd scene for a future issue AD. Probably cursing me under his breath. Sure.
Crowd
Phil,
scenes.
hello, comic peeps. Tom saying Karina and yo. All right, so was I a dick to this guy? So this guy asked me very politely, and I told him, I was like, there's only 3 rules for the show, and I told him the 3 rules. 1, if you're Comicsgate, you're not coming on. Yeah, I mean, you could try, but it's not going to work out for you. 2, I have to not have an issue with you. Like, I feel that that's the standard. Since my show, having an issue with you would probably be itself. I was like, I don't know you, so I don't have an issue with you. But number 3 is you got to back stuff. I was like, you got to back at least as many projects as you put on. So if you put on 1, you have to at least back 1. I'd prefer you back more because you got to be part of the community. He chose to not respond to this. Do you feel I made the right call, like not welcoming people?
100% you made the right call, because if you gave him a very small ask, hey man, you got 2 campaigns, just go back a couple, and he doesn't have the ability to go back a couple campaigns at all just to show good faith there, I think that's the right call.
If you're going to go around and ask other people to back you and help it, you got to be a part of the community as well. It doesn't mean you have to be a friggin' super backer. And, there are people out there that love doing it and can. That's awesome. But, everybody can at least show some attention and some love in some ways, even if it's their books where I can't back a lot. So I have to get the digital version instead of awesome prints, or there's ones where it happens to all of us, but you got to support the community, man.
It is certainly an eyebrow raiser when I see it. Like, people who have created, more than one campaign even, and haven't backed a single one. It's kind of like, do you get it?
Right.
No, they don't.
I have an anecdote on that. I recently, I've been a Kickstarter for a long time, and I did tabletop gaming and other stuff. And I just finally created a new Kickstarter account specifically for my comic stuff. And my biggest fear was that I had no created or no backed stuff on there. So I immediately went out and backed as many comic campaigns as I was excited about. But I've had people message me and ask me, like, dude, how come you don't support anything? You only backed like 10 campaigns and you're already crowdfunding stuff. So it's real. People notice that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the thing that people don't realize too is that, like, even if you go and back somebody's campaign for $1, if Travis goes and backs a campaign for $1 or $5 or $6, everybody that follows Travis is going to get a notification. Yeah. Travis just backed this campaign. Kat just backed this campaign. And that is the way for the octopus arms to stretch out, because they would be like, oh crap, I like what Kat does and I saw her back this campaign. I'll go check it out. You might get somebody that's like, I'm going to go back it for $100 now. You never know what's going to happen. Right. So $1 backing can help just as much as anything else.
When that message,
and even if it's one,
it doesn't say they backed for $1.
Even if it's one person, right, that sees that and backs, that one person may only back a small amount the first time, but then if they come back for the second and the third campaign, you've just, like, this is audience generation, right? It's not just that small bump. It's an investment.
Yeah. I give away milestones based on how many backers I'm getting, not how many dollars I'm hitting.
I agree.
It's about a continuation on with the future. You want to spread the story you're telling. You want to get it in front of as many people that need to see it as possible. And all of that contributes. So goddamn right you did the right thing.
Backing indie books is different. Yeah.
Yeah, we do both. We'll have like a backer count incentive and we'll have a dollar count incentive, all of it.
Yeah, it's
I think
tough.
what you should have to do though, Travis, is you should have to report how many of the actual comics you've backed you've read.
Yeah,
That's the real truth there.
There is one particular series that I'm like 5 issues in, and I have not read one. And I'm like, I hope I like it when I get to 5 because I have invested, because they're Kickstarter books. So I've invested like $25 a book here, and I don't even know, but I like the person. So
I gotta say, I just backed one a little while ago that I'm kind of afraid to read. It's got a not. I backed it because a friend of mine's doing it, but it's also a not safe for work material. That's not my bag. So I'm like, okay. I don't know if I'm even gonna dive into it because I'm not sure. But I really like the people in the book, so I totally know what you mean. You don't always get to read them all.
No, I read everything I back. I try to anyways. And I try to give feedback when I really, really enjoy something. I try to make sure that they know, because I think it matters, when we're doing stuff, to let people know that you really enjoy it because of stuff. And I get mad too because people, every time I hear the rumor that I don't back physical, like I get really mad and I will go live and be like, look at it. I back them all for physical. Because it's like 90% of my stuff that I back for physical. So I get really mad when someone says I just do $1 back, and I was like, no, my wife wants to leave me because of how much I back stuff. Stop.
Yeah, there's a college education worth of comic books in my garage, so I understand.
Right. So, but we are not here to talk about, we are here to talk about backing, but we are not here to talk about people who are not supporters of the community. We're talking about the viewers who are, and the people in this group who are supporters of the community, supporters of Kickstarter. Somebody's got some noise in the background. If you got a TV
It's
or what.
probably me. Hold on just a second.
Darn those cats. Tell them to be quiet.
Darn my oldest.
I read a lot being behind, saying I've read what I think, just hardly have the time. Yeah, no, I get you. But I also think it's really important to read comics anyways. I get so mad when I see an interview or watch an interview with a creator, and that creator's like, oh, I don't really read comics. I was like, then why are you making them, dude? Why?
I think sometimes you got to give them a pass that it's quite hard to keep up with comics while also trying to create them
Sure.
because there's only so much brain space comics can occupy at any one time. I don't know. I just feel like I definitely have fallen into the sort of reading the occasional trade habit rather than waiting weekly for issues. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, but you're still reading, dude.
See, and I'm the opposite, David. I'm reading every one of your books and just seeing how better you are than me, and then researching on. You know how much I know about Sherwood Forest and Nottingham? No, a bunch. Just in case I got to take over, I'm ready. No, I'm kidding.
Always be prepared for that.
This is just a pitching opportunity for Travis.
Right.
The whole thing.
That's the one you got to pitch to,
That's
man.
why he does this, man.
Hate to tell you.
I actually had a meeting with Mad Cave the other day, and it went really, really well. I get to pitch them some stuff. I'm really excited about it.
Jeff, that is a brilliant
Good
idea.
Absolutely.
So let's start with. We will start with Matt. We'll go backwards.
All right.
So Matt, let's bring yours up. Did you get me in the private chat, or I got to yell at you? You suck.
I'm in the private chat.
It's a tiny URL. I get it. You think you're better than everybody with your own little URL there. I get it.
Well, I had to type it in on my phone, so I would have had to type out every single character one by one. So there's no way I was typing in the full Kickstarter address.
You don't know how to copy and paste? That's a
Yeah, I've got my URL on my. Mine's in my clipboard on my phone.
I do, but my phone is being a pain in the butt. So.
All right, so we've got this. You make your own music. How long is the video?
The video is only 15 seconds. It is a quick teaser of the song, so it's the shortest video ever in the history of Kickstarter videos. But it's a quick little teaser. So if you want to play, absolutely, you can play it.
Oh yeah.
So that's just a 15-second teaser to the brand new Heirs of Isildur song that's going to be a part of this campaign. It'll be the first new direct Heirs song since our last full album, Heirs of Isildur versus Tales from Nocturnia. This issue is for Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects, Book 3. The main character, Michael Isildur, has returned from his supernatural sabbatical. When we start the Perilous Prospects arc, a supernatural apocalyptic event has happened. Michael's in a coma, and he's basically just been a prop sitting there for the first 2 issues. The reason why this is significant is because there's a lot of people that are around him that have no affiliation to one another whatsoever, other than that they all know Michael or they support him. So we've been able to see them have to figure out how to move forward in the world and figure out how to survive and maybe to try to stop this apocalyptic event that they helped to cause. This issue is super fun. We get to do some pretty incredible things. There's a lot of character development, and everywhere you think the story is going, when you get to the end of this issue, you're going to be like, man, Matt, Steph, you guys are nuts because I did not see that coming. How are you going to figure this all out when you get to issue 4 and resolve all this insanity that's going on?
So, what book is this in the universe? Not. I know it's the second book of chapter 2 or whatever, but what number book is this in the universe?
So technically, if you want to get really technical about it, technically it's like book 15, but
Wow.
It's not really book 15. So you had 11 issues in the Crossroads Conundrum arc that were all just regular comic length. Then we turned those into a trade paperback, and that one's still basically like illustrated novel trying to turn into a comic at that point. We then did a bridge issue called Nightmare Scenario, and then we started The Perilous Prospects. The Crossroads Conundrum basically is a character study, and it focuses on Michael Isildur and his group of people. And then when you get to the end of that book, you've got a big apocalyptic event that happens. This Perilous Prospects is which starts with that apocalyptic event and takes it from a totally different angle. And you get to see this group along with other people in the town of Shadowshaven and a bunch of other different entities that all are how they're all affected by this thing that happened. So when we switch to the Perilous Prospects, you got to see basically the start of a story from a new perspective. Every story's got stuff that happens before it starts, after it ends. So we try to make sure that this one is something you could pick up, the Perilous Prospects, and not even need the Crossroads Conundrum, but have enough information to be able to move forward and really enjoy it.
I like that.
Very cool. You know what? I'm going to make you a suggestion for your campaign even though I think you do great campaigns, but I realize there's something missing that I think would be a really good seller for you.
You tell me, what is that?
I think you should put a reading order. I think a reading order on this would be really good, just to show to better show all the stuff together, like a reading order.
You know something? I will tell you this. That is something I thought about doing before we put the campaign together and absolutely forgot. So now that you just mentioned it, that is going to happen. That will be up there. That'll be the next graphic I make for the campaign. So possibly sometime tomorrow or Saturday, you will see that on there because of this show.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's a great stuff. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of stuff here. I know it's a lot. I think part of the problem with the stuff when it's been so long, it's a lot to take in. But you could just start at this part and then work your way backward. That's what's great about time travel stories, right?
Well, absolutely. And like I said, we try to make sure that if somebody really wants to get into the universe and they're like, oh, I really want to understand all this expansive stuff, we make sure there's links. We make sure that there's things where you can say, okay, go listen to this song because that song is going to have the lyrics that expand out somebody's origin story a little bit more. We try to make sure that it's all there. We do things like I Am Keto, which we just finished doing the fulfillment on, where it was a full graphic novel. It's an expansion for a single character that we thought was going to be just a 10 or 12 page story turned into an 80-page graphic novel. And that was fun because we got to take the story into the Far East, and it was Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur meets Mad Max. And if you missed that and you think that sounds cool, you can pick all that stuff up in the campaign too.
Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So we are at 2,592 with 84 backers. We got a lot of people to go through. I'm going to just try to promise you one right now to keep it good, but I may up that a little later. So we're going to get you to 2,560. Let's see what we can do. One backer tonight. Let's try to see what we can do.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Since you were talking here, we have some new friends. We have Tyler James and Philip Bruhorn. How are you guys doing?
Great, Travis. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I am not sure if I'm full or not. So if I don't know if James can get in or not. I don't remember what package I bought. I don't know if I get another row or what. Who knows? No one knows. I'm a paid member. If anybody knows, we'll figure it out. So there's so many people go to the biggest hang ever. No, we normally fill it every time, brother. But next up, we're gonna skip around, do some musical chairs here. We're gonna do Evan. We're gonna do Evan's book.
Evan.
Yeah. I'm just excited to talk about my campaign.
Yeah. Let's talk about your campaign. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. This was a magical situation where I hit launch, and then almost half an hour later, my whole family got COVID, and I've been out for about 10 days. So let's hype this son of a gun.
Yeah, give me a second to get it back on here. We'll talk about it. I remember you were here for the last one. You found out that you and I started having our first beef when I talked about flip books.
You don't like flip books, but you also told me it was one of the most beautiful books you ever held in your hands.
It is a beautiful book. It is a beautiful book. I almost thought about bringing it on because I knew you were going to be here. Phil and Tyler, if you guys can send your links in the private chat as well. But yeah, let's go over Mixology number 2, Mixology Noir, book 2.
Yeah, so I'm an ex-bartender. I've always loved craft cocktails, the origins of them. And Mixology Noir is a series of standalone horror stories inspired loosely by the origins of craft cocktails. You don't have to be into drinking or cocktails to enjoy these. They're each 31 pages long, each story, and there's 2 stories per book. So Mixology Noir is a double feature of horror inspired by these cocktails, perfect for folks who like noir, which is stories that have no happy endings, no redeemable qualities of the characters other than just dark, twisting, interesting places for the mind to go. So 2 different artists. The first story is Paloma. It's a story about a little girl and boy in Mexico who wander into a bar looking for safety, and it turns into a monster battle, essentially. And then the other is Manhattan. It's a story about a woman whose daughter is in a coma, and she goes kind of on a mental journey as she tries to figure out how to handle this. And it turns out the whole experience is not what she actually thought was happening.
All right.
So that's kind of it. My goal with this story was a beautiful book with. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the last book was really, really beautiful. So if this is anything the same caliber, it'll kill it.
Yeah, the goal of this book is one with cool printing features, foil, spot embossing, soft touch laminate, something that you can throw on top of a bar top in a swanky speakeasy, and it looks like it's at home there, which is what I wanted to make for myself. So if you like pretty collectible books, this one comes out great.
It's a great book. Like I said, it's really good. All right. So when did you launch, by the way?
I accidentally put 28 days in instead of 30 when I launched, so it's been just over a week.
Okay. 17, 20, 25. We're going to try to get you a backer. We're going to try to get you at 1730. Hopefully more. I'm going to start begging people, try to get you to 26. We'll handle all the yelling and screaming later. By the way, guys, I share all these links in the comments. If you don't want me to yell at you later, the best way to do it is just back it now. It's just so easy. Like, I don't have to yell later. It doesn't get weird or awkward, so.
What if they want you to yell at them?
I think some of them do, based off of past experience. I think it's a thing. I think they watch this just to hear my voice crack like it is tonight, and
just to get berated.
Yeah.
Some people attempt.
Well, you said you didn't get a drink yet, Travis, so maybe you'll be a little kinder tonight.
Maybe, but I do have a little water here, so I can juice up for the yelling. So, all right, those links are out. The links are right there. Like I said, promise them a backer. Don't make me a liar, guys. There's a lot of you watching, so I know you guys can back it. All right, the next one we're going to talk about, because I love to skip around. Phil, I want to know why pizza's banned. Like, what is happening in this world where pizza is no longer allowed? Yeah. That's fucked up, dude. What's going on?
Yeah, what's the hell?
Mario, one of the co-writers, 4 of us on this, James Ferguson, Matsumo, and Mario C. Mario came to us a few years ago saying, hey, let's write a story about pizza getting banned. And what happens is this present pulls a George Costanza, and he eats pizza with a fork and knife, and he gets made fun of, and he decides to ban it. However, the rest of the country decides to fight back, and they create a speakeasy for pizza. There are gangs that are upset. Here we have a pizza cutter gang. We have underground pizza box making contests. So the four horsemen, that's me, James Ferguson, Matt, and Mario, got together and put together a collection of stories. We actually launched on National Pizza Day, which was 2/9.
All of a sudden, I really want pizza.
So first off here, why this is important. First, this is Phil's first created book by himself, and I'm super proud of him. He is the guy who's in everybody else's book, and this is his first one. So you have to back it for that, guys. You have to. So I'm super proud of it. And, Matsumo, Mario, those are two great creators, James Ferguson as well. I mean, these are all-stars in the Kickstarter community. So you pick some great people to partner with.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. Those other three guys, we started Accountability Group a few years ago, and we decided the only way to level up was together. And that's my comic book writing family right there.
Nice.
And then if you've noticed, if you go to the top, we did an homage to the Days of Future Past.
It's my show. I'll do what I want. But yes, sure, I'll go to the top. Sorry. I've tried to send your link out, and it keeps sending my... All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I have this horrible thing with Kickstarter where if I put in a link, and I put enter, it'll automatically grab something else. So right now it's grabbing, I did Pizza Hut book it in elementary school and trying to add it to the end of your URL. Sorry.
Always got to be grabby.
So right here. Phil?
Oh, no.
I offended Phil.
All those pizza
He
mascots.
said, be right back.
Last Phil.
You're in the middle of your thing. What are we doing? All right. So Phil is at
The pizza delivery showed up.
Maybe. All right. So Slice of Life. Let me add it to my list. We'll do that for a second. Of Life. He is at 2,054 with 79 backers. Let's try to get him to 80 backers, and we'll try to get him to 2,065.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. What happened?
Don't want to see, Travis, I swear, any podcast I'm on with you is cursed. And that is for the third time a cricket was in the bathroom with my wife. And that is 3 times I've been on 3 separate shows with you, and it's happened every time.
Is it the same cricket, do you think?
She left me a message. SOS cricket.
Crickets only live 24 hours, so it can't be the same cricket.
And it's only when I'm on a show with Travis. I was on a show.
Multiple generations of the same.
I was on a show an hour ago with Tyler. No cricket. But when I'm on a show with Travis, there's a cricket.
And it's always a cricket. It's not other.
No spiders. It's only a cricket.
I mean, I do write a book about voodoo. I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there. Just these things happen. All right. Next up, we're gonna talk to Kat. Kat's got. You've got one of those things with no pictures.
No, it has pictures. Just not on every page.
All right. Let's talk about it. It's taking forever to load for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, that link doesn't work, Kat.
That link doesn't work.
That's all right. I've got it.
Maybe you should try a tiny Earl, like some people.
There you go, Brian. Brian's got it for you.
Yeah, I don't know why that link's not working. Click on it yourself. It won't work. Weird. We got Jerry. Jerry's in the house. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, buddy?
Good, good, good. We'll get you in a little minute. You've been watching, so you know what's going on here.
Indeed, I do.
Hold on. All right, we got a question here. Phil, I have to ask. I really hope you have the awards like communal pizza party for your campaign.
So that is something we actually are discussing, to have a pizza party. If you're in the New York area, that's something we are currently discussing, whether we're going to have that party at the end.
Phil, let me tell you something. There's this thing called delivery. So you could literally send a pizza to anyone and go online and have a pizza.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Dude, you have your pizza party, and then to the backers who support it, you can have something delivered. Dude, that's insane.
And depending on their pledge,
Dude, have a freaking StreamYard. Run a StreamYard. Everybody gets on the StreamYard together, and they're all eating the pizza you delivered to them.
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh,
that would be
exactly.
That could be a cool stretch goal. I'll talk to the other three about that, but that's a good idea.
It better be real pizza, not chain.
I like that.
Not chain. Daniel, not all of us live in New York, so some of us have to deal with chain. All right. I live in Florida. I do not have good pizza. It's just not an option.
I live in the middle of nowhere. I have one pizza place that delivers to me.
See? All right, let's look at this campaign.
Who?
You could order. I think you could order if you had like Uber Eats. I think you could probably order international for pizza. All right. I need 1 second to sneeze real quick. So go ahead and talk about this subject.
Sure. This is my 5th book that I've done. This is the 3rd book in the Toy Store collection. This is Holidays at the Toy Store, which is all about all of your favorite toys that live in the toy store and the holidays that they discover and how they celebrate them. It is 20 plus short stories. We have, as you can see, we also have a coloring book. This is our very first coloring book, which is 50 images from all of our books, plus some bonus images that are new that nobody's seen before. I have announced recently that at every $500, I will give away an ebook copy of Abel's Army, Cobalt's Castaways, and Origins number 1 by Jessica Judd, which is her Mary Shelley series. Let's see, what else can I say? I have a fantastic team. I love my team. Eric Cockrell does all of my graphics and cover art, and Max Strain out of Florida. So there's my Florida connection. Does all of my interior art. And I've been working with her since she was 19, so it's really exciting. So if anybody has any questions, help. I don't know what else to say.
I'm here. I'm back. I still have to sneeze again.
Okay.
Okay. No, everything's good. I think that it looks great. I mean, this is the 3rd book in the series.
Yep. And I
did miss the holidays, just for the record. We are no longer in the holidays, if nobody told you.
Oh, well, shoot. These are holidays that exist from January to about the end of May, though.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's different holidays. Gotcha.
It's all different holidays. Yep.
President's Day is Monday, so we're not entirely out of this.
That's
season.
right. And if you notice, the cover is Pie Day.
Okay.
That's awesome. The pie symbol on a pie.
See, if that's not a crossover with Phil, like I don't know what it is. You know.
There you go.
What's the
Is there an Arbor Day story in there?
There's not an Arbor Day story, I'm afraid.
What? That's insanity.
As far as ages go, it's perfect for the stories are short, so they're 5 to 10 minute reads. So they're perfect for bedtime reading. But my fan base ranges from parents who like to read to their kids up until I've got readers that are older than I am, and I'm not going to say what that is. So I'll leave that up to your imagination.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, I've seen that this is already, you have a printer proof. So it's already done. It's just
I do. This book is done and ready to go. I've got printer proofs of both Holidays at the Toy Store and the coloring book. And if we flip back to me, I could actually show you guys those.
I can make you big for a second. Yeah.
Just for a second. Yep. So this is the coloring book, guys. These are, you can see the printer proofs, not for sale. And then this is actually printer proof of Holidays at the Toy Store. So they're both done and completely ready to go.
Nice. I give this to my daughter every time, so I've backed him every time, so I'll keep doing that.
And I will back Travis that he does back at physical levels.
I don't think anybody questions that in this room. Other people on the internet.
I have a question. Are the same characters in all the different short stories?
There are some new characters for this one. These are all based on toys that my kids or I actually own.
Awesome.
So this is Silver. He is new to this book. He is in 2 of the stories, but there are a lot of story characters that have been repeats throughout the entire series. So I try to add 3 or 4 new characters per book, but you still have the ones that you're familiar with.
I got this comment is for you, Phil. No delivery, just a slice in an envelope and mail it to people.
Mail it to people.
I like that idea.
Definitely gonna.
You're so close to me. I'm gonna mail you a whole pie.
Ooh.
Man,
Friend of
I
mine
wish I
mailed
was
me a
close to
pepper.
Joe. Joe and I have never talked alone. I want to talk to Joe. All right. Now we've got 4 more people to go, as well as myself. 2 of these books I absolutely love, so I don't want to get too excited. We're gonna go. Jerry, you have 2 books, right? You want to talk about both?
I mean, we can just talk about the Grizzly Crew. I'm not worried about funding the other one.
Oh,
well, then.
I'm sorry.
I know how that sounded. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. I'm just managing a Kickstarter that it's doing just fine.
Well, good that it's doing fine.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Jared, let's talk about what you got.
Okay. So, which one are you pulling up there? Or should I just start talking?
We'll see. Let's see what happens.
See what happens. See how it goes.
I'm eating Twizzlers, so I'm not taking this whole thing very seriously. But they're mini Twizzlers, so they don't take me long to consume. Which is nice. They're in the little package.
Okay.
I'm just as guilty. They said pizza, and my child brought me pizza rolls.
Yeah, let's talk about this. What is this all about?
So this is the Grizzly Crew. This is a story about a crew of pirate bears who protect villages from evil pirates. It's a story that my then 6-year-old son kind of helped me came up with by just walking into my office and telling me about this. He like saw an image on my screen and just started telling me about this group of pirate bears who fight evil pirates. And so I started working with him on the story. It's an all ages story, which is, tough on Kickstarter sometimes, but right. So it's going pretty well so far. And my buddy Nick Justice is the artist. But these are you're scrolling right through there. Those are the pirate bears right there. It's basically like there's a human world, and all of this village is being attacked by pirates on a near nightly basis. The kids are terrified; they can't sleep at night. So the parents start telling these kids this story about, like, you don't have to worry. We hired the Grizzly Crew, and they're protecting us now from the evil pirates. So you can sleep; it's all good. And the kids obviously realize that that's nonsense. They don't believe it. So the parents have to tell these stories about the Grizzly Crew to kind of, put the kids. It's a bedtime story, basically.
So this book is designed to help parents lie to their kids better?
Absolutely. Like all things.
Right.
Like all things. Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
Good. I've needed this for a long time, so that's great.
I feel like you probably already had no problem lying to your kids.
Hey! So you were at 1626 here with 65 baggers. I think it looks great, man. I mean, I love Jerry, you are a breath of fresh air in this scene, man. Like your stuff, even your if we scroll down to the bottom here, your other book, which I think you can probably buy as an add-on, right?
You can. It's an add-on.
Look at this. I mean, this book is dope as hell. If samurais are your thing, Jerry's been doing some really cool stuff. He's messaged me a tons of time just for information. So he wants to learn, he wants to get better. And I think that's one of the keys to know someone who's going to stick around for a while. So if you want to get on someone while he's hot when he's starting out, I mean, this is the time to do it. This is a great book.
I've been listening to all of Tyler's. I just did it. We just did it. I've been listening to all of Tyler's back catalog of podcasts too. So I'm trying to absorb all the knowledge and take it all in and figure out what applies to me.
Only my episodes. I've heard all the other episodes are not great. You'd agree, right, Tyler?
How have I not made the Gibb collection yet?
Right.
I'm gonna pull that together as a
Sells itself.
must download. Or maybe I put those behind a paywall, Travis.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Smart.
Pretty good.
Nick Justice is the man.
He is. He's amazing. And actually, I just want to say this: most of the add-ons on the campaign, you can back the campaign at any level, including like a $1 level, and it unlocks the ability to get a bunch of really cool commissions, including Nick's line work for the cover of that book, his original line work. So there's only one copy of that, but almost all the add-ons are kind of focused on keeping Nick busy for the next couple of weeks and months.
Well, the original was. I have to change the goal now because someone backed before I shared the link, which I think I got to share Kat's link too. But you were at $1,632 $1,632. 66 backers. We're going to try to get you 67 backers. Obviously we won't get you 69 because that's a funny thing. Except for a kid's book, it makes it weird.
Kids book, inappropriate, highly inappropriate.
Well, if we get there, we'll all feel uncomfortable if somebody else will back right away.
Right.
That's good. Or cancel.
If he doesn't want the 69, I'll take the 69.
All right. So let's hold on. Give me a second to share these things out. I don't think I shared holidays. Brian did, but let me make sure I share holidays too, real quick. I'm going to back up for a minute. But next up, we're going to talk about David. We're going to talk to David's book that he co-writes. I can't get him to solo write for me, but he has time to co-write with somebody else, but that's irrelevant. I read this book.
Travis, don't be bitter.
I am bitter. I am 100% bitter. Have you listened to the Travis Gibb Tyler James collection? It's very clear that I'm bitter. The comics launch will tell you that I'm a bitter man, and I'm getting old. So old and bitter, I hear that those are like the best things. So what is Requiem is one of my favorite books I read last year on Kickstarter. It almost made my top 10. It was 11, just so you know. But just because I wanted more, because it's got that Aliens vibe. It's got all those old, like classic love sci-fi. But you tell us about it. Let's talk about it.
Christoph and I kind of describe it as Alien meets Memento. It's about the crew of an Ark that's sent out into space to secure the future of humanity as the Earth has kind of been ravaged by something. And they don't remember what it is because they, as part of this whole process, they have to wipe their memories constantly. And as we're sort of finding out as we get deeper into issue 2, they might be carrying with them a psychic parasite that's hiding in their memories.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So one of the things I want to say, first off, the covers are great. You continue to kill it with the covers. I love the art tones you guys are taking for the covers. But one of the things I think that people get scared about is when they look at Australian pricing, right? I backed this book. Is Early Bird still up or is Early Bird gone?
Early Bird's finished. Yeah.
I backed it. It was about $20, so I assume it's probably going to be 25, right? Now that Early Bird's gone.
Something like that. USD. I'm not sure.
But it gets scary because it looks like it was like $32. I was like, that's not right. But that's 32 Australian dollars. So you're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It does scare people. Large numbers do scare people, but we also hope that like the quality is self-evident.
Right.
We try to get the hottest covers we can, and luckily I have Shane on speed dial, so that helps a lot. And yeah, we really want to make sure that this looks like the kind of book that you would get in the direct market, but you can get it instead on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I told you this in the last time we did an interview with this. Like, Requiem is one of my favorite words of all time. So who took that word from me? Because that would have been a book of mine if you didn't use it. Was it you?
That was me.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, Requiem is one of my favorite words of all time. It's such a beautiful word. So kudos on you. Half the people, actually, let me ask the panel: how many people here know what Requiem means besides David and I? Anybody? Matt? I think it's a music thing. Maybe that's why.
Yep.
Okay. All right. See, the negative is a lot of people got to look it up. Would you like to say what it means?
Here's a question.
Sorry, what was that? Everyone spoke at the same
My
time
question
to
is
me.
this: so all of us,
It's has something to do with church, right? Isn't it like a song at the end of mass or a certain kind of mass?
I mean, we went for like a token of remembrance, but yeah, I think it's also that. It's both of those things.
Broken. I'm a lapsed Catholic, so that's where my head goes.
Having your question?
yeah, I have a question. So I think most of us are in the U.S. and we all nickel and dime concerns about our international shipping. Is it equivalently as expensive to ship to the U.S. from Australia as it is to ship to Australia from the U.S., or is it different?
It is more expensive. That's why we don't do it. We've partnered with a fulfillment company to get that done. I think it was just a sort of tactical move between us where we don't have to have the stresses of fulfillment so much, and we also get the benefit of the easier shipping options. We do send out our books to like a big stack of books to our artists in the UK to fulfill the sort of UK Europe stuff. And otherwise, we're doing it through the fulfillment company for US and the rest of the world.
I'm curious. Do you print in the U.S.? So are you printing in the U.S.?
Yeah. Yeah. Through Unlikely Hero.
Okay. Oh yeah, great. And then
Okay, cool.
But are you also doing like a run for the Australian market, or is the Australian market actually not worth doing a separate run?
So we try not to think of it that way. So what we've done at the moment is we've printed all our stuff. The fulfillment company is holding all of our issue ones that we would have otherwise gotten sent to ourselves. They send out the stuff for Australia because it's not really as profitable as we would like for us to get a box of it ourselves and then send it out. So they're holding our issue ones so that we can fulfill future campaigns using those books. And then we're just gonna see how it goes and monitor and see if we need to get it sent to us. It depends how well we feel they'll sell at cons, because otherwise there's not much point in us getting a print run done here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm looking to answer a question Travis asked before. I'm looking right now at backing. If you buy the book, it comes with the digital. The book plus shipping is $36 Australian dollars, which translates to about 23 to 24 US dollars.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's with shipping.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's nothing. So I think that's the big thing, is to not be scared about, it looks scary, but once you go through it, it's really nothing. It's no more expensive than any other American Kickstarter. So one more question before I send you off, David. This book came out pretty fast after the first one in Kickstarter standards, not in Diamond standards. Are we looking at an issue 3 this year?
The first draft is written. I will probably get to it at some point. I'd like to do it this year. I'm not going to commit to that.
Sure.
But I'd definitely like to do issue 3 this year, and have issue 4 on the roll as well. Like that would be the ideal. We want to really get this done, because there's a lot of mystery elements in this. We don't want people waiting too long. I feel like if we did that, we'd just have people getting very frustrated very quickly. So
I have a feeling you're going to be one of those guys who I back the whole run again at like issue 4, because I don't want to go through my boxes to find issue 1 anymore. So just gonna
Perfect.
back the whole thing. I'll catch up. It's fine, whatever. And I know I'm not the only one. I have a lot of people. I'm like, I know you own this, but you're backing all 4 again. You don't want to go in your boxes. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, that was the great thing about launching Epic after 8 years is like, even if you bought all of it, you got to get that catch-up tier, because how are you ever going to find those old issues? So we sold a lot of catch-up tiers in that campaign.
All right, James, you've done some amazing artwork over the years. In fact, message me tomorrow. I have some colored pages from you from Brokedown that I haven't shown you. From your Brokedown
Sweet.
story, that I haven't shown you yet. But James, what do you got going on? I heard Damage Inc. is back in town.
Yes, sir. I've got another issue of Damage Inc. going on. It's on Kickstarter, but there's some differences between this issue and the ones I've done before. Usually when I describe it, I tell everybody, oh, it's these friends that join a club and they hunt down monsters for bounties, and they're idiots, and so everything goes wrong and they end up with plan B, which is basically explosions and sarcasm. A lot of the feedback that I got back from talking to my readers was that they wanted longer stories with more character development. So this time I've brought in a writer by the name of Jeff Aragon. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. And he understands a lot about these characters. And what we've done is we've tried to alter the story so that we start getting into the trauma that drives people to do this kind of stuff, where they're coming from and why they're on that team, why they're perfectly willing to hunt down monsters and some stuff like that. And it's kind of come to the form where one of the characters, Sarah, her trauma from everything she's been through as a kid is kind of coming back on her as they hunt down this goblin queen. And it's going to turn into a longer story because that's what my readers wanted. So we're going from the format where every single book is readable as its own individual story, which is what I usually do, into now this is going to be one of a part of 4. And we're going to see a lot more character progression out of some of the main characters.
It looks like you're really stretching yourself. You're doing some really unique art styles here, some unique stuff. There's some cool stuff like this. This is not a page I would expect from you. I really, really like it.
I started experimenting with watercolor. Well, I work digitally, but I started experimenting with watercolor brushes and wet ink brushes inside of the software to try to loosen it up and let some more of the visceral art out. And I'm trying to depict it in different parts of the stories so that you can see the difference between the supernatural world the Goblin Queen exists in and when she comes into the real world. Still trying to keep it dark, still trying to keep that gray tone that I love doing, but I'm also trying to let some more beauty into the artwork.
So James, you and I have been friends a long time, so I'm going to give you some advice. And I normally don't give advice live, but you need to really move this section up, the damage up. We want to see this stuff first. I want to see that before I talk about stretch goals and stuff like that. We want to see that art higher up on this page, brother.
That's not a problem. You know very well I always appreciate your criticism, man. As a matter of fact, the whole format of moving into new volumes and separating it, that was all something you and I talked about on the last campaign. So I'll definitely listen to that and kind of move that part up. I know I didn't get quite as much of a percentage as I did last time on the first couple of days, but one thing I'm really happy about, I got a lot of new backers this time.
Okay.
That part I'm really happy with. There's seriously more than half of the backers are new. That part excited me because I really struggled with that last time.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, that's the only advice I would definitely give. Push that up a lot, brother. We want to see it sooner. The sooner you can show us your cool stuff, the better it's going to be, brother.
Absolutely. That's
always the way to do it. I learned that from Tyler. I took a whole class.
I'm familiar with that part. I had a lot of organizational struggles making choices as I was doing it this time. Tyler's called me out on that before. When I get a lot of choices, I have a lot of trouble making the choices and when I'm feeling all that creative pressure.
Nice. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So you were at Damaging is at 1,229 with 33 backers. Let's try to get you to 34 and get you to that. Let's try to get you to 49, 129, 1249. We'll try to do.
That's awesome. I appreciate every single backer, including that one.
All right. What? Somebody else back? Did someone back? No, we're good. All right, cool. All right. So next up, I got to share it off in the links. By the way, comments. We'd love to hear more comments. I know a lot of people are watching. Charlie had this nice thing to say. Pretty sure when you Google Rec Room, the first thing pops up is a must-read book. See, David, I'm not the only one who flirts with you. Charlie flirts with you too.
Charlie flirts with me. Charlie also bought me lunch, so I don't know.
Damn, see, Charlie just knows how to get to it.
Was it pizza?
That's real
Did
romance.
Did it arrive in an envelope?
No, we went to this really tasty bakery actually. So
All right,
yeah.
all right, tasty bakery.
Yeah, actually,
So-
food is the way to get me to do things. I'm very food motivated.
Phil, are you hearing people? He wants the Australian pizza tier. He wants it.
I'm working on it. I am working on logistics right now. Everyone, pizza's on me, guys, for the rest of the week. All right, just send me the bill.
We eat pizza once a week. You probably don't want that, and I have a big family, Phil. But Tyler,
I want pizza so bad right now.
now
I'm curious. In Australia, do they put the pepperoni on the pizza backwards?
They could. I have never seen that. So
All right.
How is it like?
It looks the
I
same.
know
if
some
you
countries
it on
put crickets on
backwards
pizza.
forwards. I just
Say,
have
like the pepperoni's upside down, or they put it like under the cheese or something? What does that mean?
It's all these questions are just bubbling in my head.
Are
Only
they
the
just
other
upside
thing
down
is-
while they're putting?
But the pepperoni's upside down. I'm thinking
Is that
about
what it
that
is?
one. I'm thinking about the pepperonis being upside down. So, like, do Domino's put them right side up or upside down?
Depending on where the comma is in the sentence, maybe the person putting the pepperoni on the pizza is just upside down and putting the pepperoni on the pizza.
Yeah, see, Australia's a weird place.
Or they do have those. One of the pizza places here is doing a 2 pepperoni pizza. So you have the regular flat pepperoni, then you have the cup pepperonis.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
those
they
are
put
great.
maybe they put the cup pepperonis.
My
Sounds
son
good.
loves those. The cup pepperonis, they always fill with the oil, and he actually just picks them up and
Mm.
drinks them. It's disgusting.
Dude,
He's my hero.
Oh,
dude, one of my friends lives to do that.
Just like drink little like oil cups. It's weird.
Yep.
That is weird. All right, Tyler. I appreciate you probably the most because you're the only one who confirms that I've been doing comics as long as I have. You're the only one who actually knows it and can remember it in your brains because everyone else is gone. And second, Sync is literally probably one of my top 10 books, as you're aware of all, like of it. It's in my top 10. It's probably in my top 5. I love John Lee's. I think it is a travesty that he is not working at one of the big two. They are idiots, every single one of them, for not doing that. Alex Cormack, however, the guy's doing 87 books, so he doesn't have room to do Marvel and DC because we just don't have time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I still think John will ultimately have one of the definitive runs on Batman before his young career. I mean, he's still pretty young. So, like that, that has yet to be seen. But I'm still convinced that it will happen. But in the meantime, he's worked for I think 3 or 4 other publishers and is building an awesome cred. And the pandemic was actually great for him in that he wrote the next 3 years worth of Sync. And so he's been able to pitch everybody else in the meantime as he waits for Alex to schedule to clear up to keep cranking through this stuff. But as a longtime Sync fan, I can tell you, Travis, like I've read ahead through 20 and yeah, you're going to be in for a treat, man. This whole thing is coming together nicely, and so it's an enjoyable ship to be, helping to steer.
And I apologize if this offends everybody in the room. This fucking book is amazing. If you have never bought Sync, fucking buy Sync. But go ahead, Tyler. You can talk about it.
Yeah. So Sync is a long-running sort of maxi series. It's a series of standalone tales that all take place in the shared, this twisted version of Glasgow, Scotland, which is where John Lees is from.
That accent, oh boy!
Like John originally pitched this as this is the dream series that he would make, that he was going to make once he finally hit stardom and got that Image deal and was going to have that nice long run. And then he realized, wait a minute, why am I not working on my dream series right now? And so after John and Alex Cormack and I had worked together on Oxymoron, The Loveliest Nightmare, a while back, John's like, you know what? He and Alex really hit it off, and they jumped into this series Sync, and it's now the longest running Comics Tribe series, and it is definitely our most acclaimed and biggest seller. And so what we have here is a little bit of a pivot or just a change in direction where Sync was primarily focused for the first 10 issues on the direct market and releasing where like we did a Kickstarter launch for the very first issue and then came back for volume 1 and then came back again 5 issues later for volume 2. And those were our Kickstarter launches, but we were really focused on the direct market for individual issue releases. But the world has changed a little bit. Pandemic changed things, and the audience on Kickstarter is what it is right now. So what we decided to do is like really lean into these Kickstarter launches, and this is the first time we're actually telling 2 chunks of story, like putting 2 issues in one for a Kickstarter special release where we're having some fun with some deluxe variant covers and doing some cool things with connected covers and vampire variants. And just focusing on the Kickstarter market first. That's sort of like, they're the people that bring us to the dance. And then we'll eventually, like, these issues will eventually come out in the direct market once they're all complete and they can come out on a monthly schedule. But yeah, we're focused on getting the Kickstarters out. And so what Sync is it's a crime horror series that takes place in Glasgow, Scotland. Across the first 10 issues or so, each issue is like its own story, standalone, but they all take place in the same like crooked town of monsters and cheats and scoundrels but what we've been seeing is like in this latest volume is that all of the stories that have come before are now starting to come together, and the main characters in each of those stories are starting to crash into one another. And so I'm just excited for what's to come here as this a mystery about an old vampire that may or may not be returning to Sink Hill is coming to the forefront in this issue.
So question for you about the double issue. So is the double issue called Monsters? Is it like a 2-parter, or is it?
So so each issue actually has its own, each chapter has its own chapter or issue has its own subtitle. Okay. And so Monsters is the title of this collected edition. Okay. And so John, John is very OCD in terms of like wanting things to be just so. But when we talked about it, we said we didn't necessarily want to do big launches for every single issue. We want them. We would rather for the Kickstarter market release more comics, but maybe a few fewer launches. And so where it made sense to combine a couple of stories into one big package specifically for the Kickstarter market, and then also lean in and do some really cool variants and things like that. We're now combining those things. So this launch will be for a double issue. It's called Sync Monsters. The next one will be a double issue that will complete this volume, and that will also get its own title. But each subchapter will have titles as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Oh yeah, right here. See the monkey ball, and then the
Monkey's Ball. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Hey,
But yeah,
Tyler,
this
that
is
book is so atmospheric. I'm so jealous that the visuals come together the way they look. It looks great. Like I don't say that about every book because I'm like such an art snob, but I really am enjoying the visuals on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Cormack is a guy that I met at my local comic shop at a drink and draw years and years ago, and you know, I liked a sketch that he drew on there, and asked him to do like the very first variant cover that I ever produced for the Red 10, and been working with him ever since, and it's been amazing. Like he's one of those guys that literally put his 10,000 hours in. And now you're seeing like the productivity and the prolificness, and he does horror books for every major horror publisher now known to man, and puts out like a book a month literally, and it's just he's a beast, and so part of the reason I'm here pitching this book is because Alex is drawing, man, and John's sleeping right now on the other side of the globe.
No, I absolutely cannot support this book enough. I know I shouldn't be running a show if I'm that supportive, but I'm a huge Sync fan. It's one of my favorite series. I love both of them. They're both inspirations to me. I mean, this book deserves every ounce of that money, and every ounce of those backers, because it's that good of a book. It should be Eisner winning. So, who do we lose? We lose somebody with his cat.
I met both John and Alex last year, and they are just also like very incredibly nice people, as well as being wildly talented. So
yeah, I don't trust that. I'll be honest, but
it is amazing that someone who writes things so horrific that John does, and like puts characters through such torture, is also literally one of the nicest, like give you the shirt off his back human beings on the planet, so yeah, great dudes all around, and it's fun also talking to John, because when the first thing he says to you, you're going to be like, what did he say? But by the end of a convention, you're speaking Scott with a Scottish slang yourself.
If it makes you feel better, David, John Lees won't write for me either, so you're in good company. I've asked him a couple times.
just following John. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So if I can get John, I have a better shot of getting you. I get you. I like that.
Gotta have
all right,
standards.
So you're at $19,244 with 324 backers. You're going to try to get you one backer, 19,264, which should be easily done. And like I said, I cannot promote this fucking book enough. In fact, I'm not joking, Tyler. If you look at Blake's Buzz, I was supposed to be promoting Voodoo, and halfway there's about 20 minutes where I promote Sync and stop promoting Voodoo, because I'm always excited about these launches. It makes me very happy. The only thing can make me more excited is a Red 10. We got Red 11 coming. Where we at?
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Caesar the other day. The Red 10, no direct plans for a Red 10 sequel, but Oxymoron will be making a return this year. I promise. Phil's got a story in that. I think it was one of the first anthology stories that he wrote. But I've been sitting on gold for years, letting it as I've slowly pulled this thing together. But yeah, I'm excited to get the Oxymoron anthology, the long-awaited second anthology out. And as someone, you know, and you that has done these massive anthology projects year after year now, sometimes multiple in a year, like I just realized like that project got too big for me in terms of like the wrangling and everything, and it got kind of overwhelming. And so I much respect to you for, you know, being able to keep so many anthology projects in the air. Those are tough to juggle.
Yeah, I do it poorly and then with authority though. That's the key. You got to do it with authority.
Yeah.
You can do poorly, and Matt and Phil both have been part, and James have been part of it. That is really my tactic. I will let them do their thing, and then I'll come in and go like, "Why did you do your things right?" And they're like, "You didn't tell us to do the things. We'll do them right." And then I'll come back and we'll just continue that rotation until it's done. And it works out fine.
Yeah.
It's the with authority is the key.
Yeah.
I work in television as the day job, and one of my a guy who owned a production company said exactly that thing to me one time. He promised something to a network executive that we all knew was impossible, and we went into his office and we were like, "What are you talking about?" And he said exactly. He goes, "What did I say? I have no idea what I said. They asked a stupid question. I answered it. This is how I get through my whole life, Jerry. I just say whatever it is with like absolute authority as if it's the answer, and everyone goes, he knows what he's talking about. I trust him," and they move forward with their day. It's exactly the same thing.
Life
That's
everywhere.
That's the secret. That's the secret of life.
That's it.
All right. So we got one more. It is mine. We got mine here. Maybe another one. Matt, can you message Brent, see if he's still live, if he needs a minute? Because I'll let him pitch for 1 second if he's still live. But yes, I got Voodoo Nations. Voodoo Nations 4 is live. If you don't know about Voodoo Nations, here's what it is. Voodoo Nations is a story about two missionaries who go to Brazil. They meet this evil voodoo priest, which is here on the left. He kind of F's up their life, to be honest. You know, he kills the husband, resurrects the husband with the spirit inside of him. They're chasing each other around the entire world. They go to New Orleans, they go to Brazil, they go to Mexico, and they now have crossed over to the other side, kind of a Coco-ish, you know, Day of the Dead where you can cross over. They've gone all through these wonderful places to try to save her husband. This is a very personal story to me, if you guys aren't aware. So my mother died a few years back, and when my mother died, I kind of went a little nuts. I never had anybody who I cared about die. I had just met my wife. We had been together for about 7 to 8 months. I knew I wanted to marry her. But I remember telling her many times during that time, because I was going to New Orleans, I was drinking, I was spending money I didn't have, I was depressed all the time, I was wanted to be really close to her, then I would want to be really distant, just weird things you do when you're grieving. I remember going to my wife and being like, I don't know at the end of this if, you know, I'm going to be the person who you met. Like, I just don't know if that person exists anymore. I think part of me died when that happened. And this is kind of the fictional telling of that story, you know, me adding voodoo and world traveling and, you know, all the stuff that writers write to it. But it's really a, you know, intimate story about a woman who is fighting for a man who is definitely not worth fighting for, much like myself. And that is Voodoo Nations.
That was heavy.
I go heavy. I go heavy. You got to say it with authority, Jerry.
That's it. That's it. Go heavy or go home.
Did I feel like with authority enough?
That felt good. That felt really good.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
So we're going to try to get myself a backer. You know, that'd be nice. And we're at $2,606, 115 backers. We're going to try to get us to 116. We are funded, which is cool. We're going to try to get us $20. Try to do that.
Give us a link.
I am pushing the link out. Judah says, Trouble Studio says, what's up, guys? And gal. And Judah said, I know some of the fellas. Aloha, motherfuckers. All right. Aloha to you, motherfucker. Aloha to you. Get these links out. Oh, got it. Did Sync go out fully? Can you guys check? Oh, Sync's doing that thing. It's trying to.
Yep.
Matt will know this. It's trying to go sync Monsters in the Morning. Is what it's trying to do. Matt, you know the monsters? Did they get up to where you're at? Matt.
Which Matt?
You, Matt. Matt Knowles. We're talking about Florida. You know Monsters in the Morning?
Oh yeah, nope.
No. Okay.
Oh yeah. The radio show in the morning. Yeah, I think there used to be one of the radio stations up here. Yep.
Yeah. I was trying to add it to that. All right. So we got Sync out there. We've got Voodoo Nation's up there. Voodoo Nation, look, it's already getting stuff. I don't know who that was. Probably someone in this group. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I'll take it. Thanks, Jerry.
Hey, Travis, I remember one thing about the first time I got a hold of the Voodoo Nations back when the first issue came out. I remember opening it up and looking at the colors and just looking about the quality of the book. And I think it was one of the first times when I was looking at it and going, "Oh my God, indie comics are getting really good. I gotta start stepping my own quality up." Like Voodoo Nations was one of the books that made me think that way, just because the writing I really enjoyed like the fun of the first issue, where I felt like I was on this confused thing. It wasn't because of the writing, it was because there was so much going on that I was supposed to feel like the characters did, because they were on a whirlwind. And I just love the colors and how that book comes together.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long going. That there's been some background stuff that's happened over the years from it. It's been a book that's been hard to come out, but it's actually made me love it more every time it's gone through. Like it's always in controversy, right? Like I switched artist on it. I've switched colorist on it. I recently just fired the colors for this issue for the next issue because of some stuff. Like it's always going through conflicts. I think it's cursed, and I kind of starting to love it because I'm writing a book about voodoo. It should be cursed. Like I'm excited about. Like instead of being upset about it over the years, I'm just now embraced it. Like I'm all in. Like let's curse it. Like let's see what's happening. I'm gonna finish this series. I'm excited about it. And I love it. I mean, it's a love letter to my wife, and it's hard that I have ever had to view it as negative. But it's also, it's like marriage, right? Marriage is hard, you go through stuff. So it's really cool. All right. Let's see if I have let you guys down or people have backed your shit. I don't know where we're at. I'm hoping that we're good. So first off, we start with Matt.
I'm spending a lot of money on this podcast, so I'll throw that out there.
We start with Matt from Hails of Sildor. I promised him 2,360 with 85 backers. Let's see if I let Matt down. I've let Matt down a time or two, so this is not the first time I've let Matt down. Normally in real life, not normally with comics. But let's see.
Hey Judah, what's up?
Matt, look at that. You have $2,636. That's way more than I promised you. With 86 backers, that's two backers, good sir.
That's right. We are one backer better than where we started the day, and we are almost out of the negatives for the day. Which you know what, in this day and age, that's a good thing.
Nice. Well, I've shared it in the link. I'm going to share it out one more time because people, come at different times. Matt, do you want to pitch it one more time to everybody? I can show this awesome video if you want.
Sure. Like I said, I know it's probably going to take up the entire rest of the podcast to watch this 15-second video, but definitely do it, man, for sure.
Let's see. I think I got to refresh here. Let's see if it will keep sharing if I refresh. Yeah, it did. All right. Play this 15-second.
So that is the teaser trailer for Heirs of Isildur. That's a clip of a brand new metal song that actually gets recorded and written right here in this exact same seat. I've got my 8-string guitar right here, and we play metal music that actually ties back into all the different stories that we have. This is for Perilous Prospects Book 3. Michael Isildur, the main character, has returned from his supernatural sabbatical. Will it be enough to stop the apocalyptic happenings that are happening in the town of Shadows Haven? This is a really fun character study. This issue is super fun, and the things you think are about to happen in the story take a complete left turn, and you're going to be at the point of being like, how in the heck are we ever going to resolve this? At Travis's request on this podcast, he actually, on this live stream, he reminded me I forgot to put the reading order down there because there are offshoots like I Am Keto and Tales from Nocturnia, and to have that reading order in there will help you guys to understand that that's not this big, overwhelming thing. You can pick it up starting at the Perilous Prospects and be able to have a really fun and enjoyable story with metal music that you can tie in, or you can get nuts and read the expanded and be able to see all the ways that things tie in to the whole story. We've got a backer count incentive happening at 100 backers. We will have a digital PDF issue that we know has never been included in anyone else's campaign in the United States ever. It's going to be the first time ever that somebody in the U.S. will ever be able to get their hands on it. If we get to 100 backers, all the backers get that. And then we will have other stretch goals and all that once we get to minimum funding at 3,500. But we need you guys to come help us out. So thanks you for backing this. Whether you already have or whether you're going to, we thank you in advance.
All right. There you go. And the link is in the bio. The link is over there. All that. Getting it tricked. I unironically love reading orders. But yeah, make sure you back this. We got your goal, so I'm gonna make myself big real quick, and I'm gonna mark you off this effing list, Matt, because I'm done with you. I am so done with you. You're done.
Dude, be done with me.
I'm done with you. Done with you.
But is he done with you?
Man, you should set a Travis stretch goal. Set a Travis stretch goal for me, man. An optional one.
Matt likes to message me just to remind me, like I would forget. He's often messaged me, hey, I just checked my email box and there's no Cthulhu next Cthulhu invite. Like something must have happened. I apologize. Like things get busy, and that's a weekly email from Matt. Just a reminder that he's not on the list. He's like, what happened? I was like, Matt, we'll get you. He's like, I know you want new people, but just my email box, if it appears.
I'm like, come on, man. I know we're big advocates for you out there on the contract, man. We sell a ton of your freaking Cthulhu books. Come on, man, help a brother out.
Right. All right.
Matt. Now that you mention it, I haven't got one of those either.
You're proof for your own.
It's still nice to be asked.
All right. Next up, will you proofread the next Cthulhu, Katrina?
Yeah. Yep,
right,
we're good.
All right. Next, I got my boy Evan up here.
Yo.
What the heck? Katrina gets invited on this live stream, Cthulhu, but I don't. Come on, man.
Well,
to the face.
I'll share
Congrats,
the commas
Katrina.
with Matt.
I'm having some Wi-Fi issues, so if you can't hear me, you might have to pitch for me, Travis.
All right. I can hear you, so hopefully you're good.
Yeah,
let's look at your
cool.
thing real quick. I'm trying to bring it up. So I promised you you were at 1,730. We're trying to get you to 26 backers. Let's see if we did that.
Well, you doubled your promises.
Doubled? Oh, look at that. We're at 128, 1,785 and 28 backers. Like I said, this last book was beautiful. And I hate flip books, so it's hard for me to say. By the way, Tyler, Sync isn't a flip book, right?
Its identity isn't just a flip book.
Yeah, I wouldn't break your heart like that, Travis.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Travis literally messaged me and said, your book is beautiful. It's in front of me, but I'm only going to read half of it. Which half should I read?
Oh, that kind of flip book. Okay. I was thinking like those little kid ones where you flip them and like there's a little guy in the corner running.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
I don't know why you don't love flip books, because everyone loves one cover. Why not have two covers?
I get it. I understand. These are beautiful. So go ahead and pitch these wonderful drinks. And by the way, guys, 4 books on this, so you can get 4 really good books.
Yeah, it's a double feature horror book. So 2 standalone horror stories, 31 pages each, both loosely designed after the origins of classic craft cocktails, but you don't have to be into cocktails to enjoy them. So just dark, twisted stories to make your mind kind of go into those places you might not always be willing to go without a cocktail in your hand. So if you like beautiful art and high quality collectible books, check it out.
Really good. And I hope this doesn't offend you, Evan. This is one of the rare times you can see Evan write one of his own books, which is a beautiful thing.
I've written more than 50% of my books, Travis. About 51%, in fact.
Hey,
collaboration is the best part of comics. Come on.
Hey, I've been hired for one of your books. I'm not complaining. I've asked for a series, so like I get jealous that all these guys get these cool Talk series. Talks was amazing. So I feel you. I'm okay with that. I'm just saying it's not only 50% of the time does this happen. But
I'll keep you in mind.
we're going to chop you off this list, Evan. Done with you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
What we got here? Judah says the art is pretty tits. Great inks. And Chab Robert said, yo, California's
Hey,
getting up.
Sean.
Sean's awesome.
Hey, Travis, you can cross sync off. You hit your target on that one too. Thank you,
We'll
sir.
get to there. Give us a minute. We have a list.
It's not
You're on a roll. You
your
want
I have to throw this out there.
Get it hot while you're at
I have to throw this out there while I'm thinking about it. Tyler, I backed for the digital catch-up, and I would love to hear a podcast about or a comics launch about strategies for convincing new backers that are to back when you're 14 issues into a series, and it's a big investment. You got me, but I think
honestly,
it'd be
that's something that I've been thinking
talking
about.
point.
It is a challenge, right? When you start getting up there, because I think in a lot of cases the tendency is to want to slash it down as low as possible, but does that sort of
The value's there, though.
like disincentivize past digital backers, and two, just hurt your overall funding thing? But it's definitely something I'm cognizant. Like they're you still want it to seem like a good deal, right? But
I thought if I didn't back the whole thing, Travis would never talk to me again, too, and that was kind of important. So,
Yeah, Evan,
well, I mean, like, you win either way. Either it is as good as Travis says, or now you can look down on Travis's taste. So
perfect. I'll take either.
I am actually disgusted, Evan, that you didn't back physical. I'm going to be honest. You said digital.
I'm a digital reader. I hate to break it to you, but
you haven't seen Alex Cormac's art. It's like touching the blood. Remember Rob Liefeld, Blood Strike? It's the same feeling with an Alex Cormac book. You got to touch the blood.
I like it.
So, Phil, we've been promised a pizza party if we could get you to $2,065.80 backers. So let's see if we get our pizza party. And David is super excited about his upside down pepperonis on his pizza. So don't fuck this up. Let's see where we're at, brother. Oh, look at that. That is 3 backers, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
You're doing great. Crickets and all.
Crickets and all. Wife is asleep, so no crickets got to her. She's safe.
She's safe. Everything is safe.
She is safe. Justice has been served to that cricket.
Go ahead and pitch it one more time, brother.
Yeah, so for those who have not heard my pitch yet, this story is about a president who's caught eating pizza using a fork and knife and is made fun of by the media and decides to ban pizza. And now society has to deal with that, and they create speakeasies, pizza shops. We have gangs that their themes are like pizza utensils, and we also have underground pizza box making contests.
All right. Hold on. We got a couple people here. Sean says we're all rad. Judah says, I don't think it's disincentivizing digital backers. People are happy to pay full price for the new thing. People understand discount and the old stuff. Affordable digital catch-up tiers and clutch for jumping into long series. Brian says, I'm primarily a digital reader, but of course I buy physicals at cons like I did with CSR's. Alex Cormac's art is legit. Yes. So that link is out. So make sure you back this. Again, it's got Mario, it's got James Ferguson, it's got Matthew Sumo, and it's got our boy Phil. This is his first book. This is your stuff, right?
Yeah, it's with me and the rest of the guys. It's my actually largest story yet. It's 15 pages. For the longest time, I've only done anywhere from 4 to 8 page stories, but I'm leveling up.
Dude, I am super proud of you. You're great. You're
Thank
one
you.
of the greatest people in this scene, man. You're great.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna slice of life you off of this list.
Ching.
So when's the pizza gonna get here?
In about 5 minutes on DoorDash. We heard knock at the door.
This is
Oh
where
man,
things
they
get
don't
weird.
DoorDash out
I
here.
really want pizza now.
You want to
We've
hear
done
something?
it.
You want to hear something fucked up? Let me tell you something fucked up.
Always.
My ex-wife is named Janice, okay? And my kids love Domino's. I hate Domino's, but my kids love Domino's. And they have that automated message that'll send you who's making your pizza. and it's a fake thing because I promise you, but it's always my ex-wife Janice. It's always Janice. So it's always messaging my girl makes the order that my ex-wife is making pizzas. So it's messed up. We make fun of it.
That's somehow voodoo related.
That is somehow voodoo related. I do like that she's gone down in life. That ever since we've got divorced, that she now works at Domino's. Like that makes me okay. But I only eat real pizza from New York. Or okay, didn't you just say hello? I'm very confused by where Judah lives.
Let's go.
Right. Kat, I'm gonna bring you up here. I'm scared of your book because you're a book. You're one of those books. That makes
I
it
know
scary.
it's a book. It's.
So I may not be able to cross you off my list. So I'm scared. So I
I'm
promise.
not even sure what goal we set.
We're at 421 and 23 is what we're hoping. So
Okay.
let's see how we did. I'm a little nervous. Got a little nervous here. I have not looked at it. Let's see. Oh, damn it! That link doesn't work again. Mother F. All right, hold on. I gotta find it.
That might be part of the problem.
Yeah, I've not had anybody tell me that before.
That link particularly that you send me is not working. I don't know what's going
We
on.
are at
it's
420,
because-
26 and 23 backers.
You know why it's not working? Because you put
Did I-
dashboard.
Did I include the dashboard in it on accident?
You did.
I'm so sorry.
What are you at?
426 and 23 backers.
Nice. So we hit your goal, which is great.
We did.
It's always hard on books. I've sat here one night for like 3 hours begging people to back a book because people don't like to read regular books, apparently. Oh,
These are really short stories, guys.
right.
Wait, there's words in there?
Yeah, this
I
works.
know.
All right. So go ahead and pitch this book one more time, and then we're going to mark you off the list.
Sure. Holidays at the Toy Store is the third book in the Toy Store series. It is based on toys that live in a toy store and the holidays that they find out about and how they celebrate them.
Nice. And this is the third book in the series.
This is the third book in the series. It has some characters that those who have read the first two books are familiar with. There are some new characters involved. And yeah, it's a lot of fun holidays. We have Pie Day, Mario Day, National Cheese Lovers Day. So it's all holidays that take place between January and I believe the end of May.
All right.
And I want to say thanks to the guys earlier talking to me, and they reminded me to add a new tier. So if you are interested in all 5 of my books, which include the 2 cat series books, that is now an option.
All right.
Thanks,
All right.
Judah.
So let's see. Now we got the Grizz up in this house. The Grizz was at 6. We wanted to get to 67 backers.
Yes, sir.
1,642. Let's see how we did because we it got one while we were alive too. So it's been growing. We're at 69, which is offensive, guys. It's a kid's book.
Well, so I think it was both you and Matt backed me, which was awesome, and then Tyler made it weird.
Tyler made it weird.
I mean, I appreciate it. I'll take it, but he made it weird. It was Tyler who made it weird.
All right, so we'll get this shared out, guys. We cannot have a kid's book at 69 for long, or it'll get flagged by Kickstarter. We don't want that to happen. Actually, based on current Kickstarter, no, 69 on a kid's book is fine. I think
That'd be fine.
that's not true, Kickstarter. I don't believe that about you, but I kind of do.
You don't want to get accidentally miscategorized.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
But
There,
the
I'm
Grizzly,
saving the children.
talk about it.
It's the Grizzly Crew. It is a anthropomorphic bunch of pirate bears who protect villages from real, mean, evil, scary pirates. It's an all-ages book. It's lots of action and adventure. The villains are another ship full of like wolf-like creatures, including
look
an
at
Arctic
that.
wolf, a fox.
Yay!
Oh,
look at
shoot.
that.
People were like, shit, that is scary. We can't have that happen.
Can't have it.
There's still a 6'9", guys. You got to fix that too. Quick up.
Oh,
There's a marketing strategy in here somewhere.
Yeah, I know. Let's figure it out.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was excited.
No, it's good. Comics Launch podcast. Next issue of the podcast is marketing with the number 69.
Yeah, the magic of 69. Hey,
that's awesome.
But it's a great book.
Lots of like commission, work available in the add-ons. There's lots of. I only did 2 covers. I did 3 covers. I didn't want to go crazy with covers. One of them is in black and white for the discerning collector.
Nice. Well, I think black and white's good for a kid's book. They can color it in. I think it's good.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking about actually a coloring book would be a fun like future add-on for that one.
Yeah, we need more funny numbers. 69 is holding together since 1970. That is cool. All right.
There we go. 69 is broken.
David stole this word requiem from me. But is it requiem in David and I's relationship? Let's find out. We were at I wanted to get him $2,939 with 127 backers. Guys, before I click on this, David's from Australia. Australian guys are cool. Last time I talked, I found out he's a lawyer a little bit. Like, I don't know what the fuck that means, or a lawyer's assistant, so he could sue our ass, I guess. I don't know if he can sue America. I don't know how any of this shit works. He also, he said something about a guy in New York, and he always has a place to stay. Like, the guy has stories for days that I won't share publicly. And I really want to keep him as a friend. So if you guys fuck this up, let me
it sounds like he knows the guy.
You guys fucked up me and David's relationship by not backing them.
This is a relationship? I told you have to buy me dinner first.
I'm going to come to your house. And I am going to, unlike She-Hulk, rip up your fucking X-Men because I can do that. I'm a real person. All right.
That was scary. I looked away for a second and I looked back, and you're full screen on this screen, and suddenly it was just Travis right here.
I take my relationship with David very serious. All right, David. Let's see if I got you. Oh, all right. We're good. All right. Almost at that 3,000 mark, which is really, really cool. Tell us about the book one more time, brother.
All right. Requiem is a sci-fi horror series that follows a crew of an Ark that's been sent out from Earth to parts unknown. They come across their sister ship with all the crew slaughtered except for one survivor, and shenanigans ensue. Murders happen. All the while they're wiping their memories for fear of something that may or may not be stalking them into the cold dark of space.
By the way, I live in Melbourne, and this guy doesn't live here. So just to let you know.
He kindly did our logo design, which I think is very, very cool.
Well, he put the E backwards, if you don't know. Just not to make it
I
awkward.
did notice afterwards. It is a little awkward.
You're gonna roll with it though? You're gonna let it stay?
I think so.
I think the secret is only one of the E's is backwards.
That was actually part of the discussion.
It's like if you have them both backwards, that's too much.
True.
I'm checking to make sure I got slice of life. I don't think I did. Okay. The problem is it doesn't link out to my Facebook like it should, so I'm trying to get both places. All right, Requiem, David. I'm glad we're still friends, and I can mark you off my list. It's exciting to me. All right.
The little things, you know.
It's the little things. The little things.
That's the secret to get as much help from Travis as possible. Don't work with him. And then
that is the secret. I do like you more if you don't work with me. That's true. It's weird. I'm a weird dude. All right. Our next boy, we got I do not have it saved because it's right here. Never mind. All right. We have. Damn it,
Sorry.
Jake.
Just read Judah's
1,249 at 34 backers. Let's see if we can get you a little bit higher. Oh my God. Are we still stuck in your same thing?
Nope.
Oh, we're supposed to get you to 34, so we're good.
Yep.
Okay, good.
I'm
All
happy for the progress.
Go ahead and pitch it real quick, my friend.
Alrighty. Damage Inc. is a story about found families. They basically, friends came together and they formed a club to hunt down supernatural monsters, superpowered metahumans. Except usually things don't go so well and it turns into Plan B, which is a lot of sarcasm and a lot of explosions. One of the things we're shooting for on this issue, though, is to make the story even bigger, more dramatic, and expand on the characters, what they want, and why they are there. So it's got a new dramatic element. I'm trying some new art styles inside of there to increase and ramp up the tension. So there's a lot going into it that I'm absolutely in love with. And I to get the book out and basically the multi-book part of the story.
Nice. All right. Well, there we are, guys. The link is in the comments if you wanted back some Damage Inc. Oh, we got another one. Look at that.
Woo!
All
Thank
right.
you, every one of you.
James, you're off my list. By the way, James, I like it. And I think I speak for Matt here too. I like it when you speak to us here instead of in a truck. It's way better when you're driving.
I had to make changes in my life to be a part of the podcast the right way. And, I had to, change jobs, but it all worked out. And now I am, a little bit easier to hear.
Awesome. All right. So the next one is Sync. And here's the thing, Evan, I heard your pleas and I don't feel your confidence. The Travis thing and whether or not you like me, like that's not confident enough for me. So here's what I'm going to do. Anyone who backs Sync, who heard this and messaged me, if you don't like Sync, I'll pledge that amount of money to your campaign. I'm not scared. I believe John Lees is a hidden talent, one of the best talent. However, know that if I'm going to put you on blast for not liking Sync because that's fucking crazy, and you need to be held accountable on the internet. So
you're going to help somebody with their campaign if they do that, but then as soon as you do it, you're going to bury them as hard as possible.
Yes.
God, just make sure it's clear. Gotcha.
It's called the yin and yang approach. I want everything equally balanced.
I
feel strongly about stuff. I feel strong. Tyler, did you get
balanced as all things should be?
Only a Sith speaks in absolutes, much like myself.
Nothing but fustian bargains when you're dealing with Mr. Travis Gibb.
All right, we're at 327. So you got a couple backers since we promised you. So we got you 3 there, which is great.
Absolutely.
We know Evan was one of them. He went all in, which is great.
Oh,
do you want
to
get
that's 500 pages of content you get to catch yourself up with. It's quite the haul, but I think you're gonna dig it. Sync is a crime horror series. You can sort of think what if Sin City had a Scottish accent and a lot more horror in it? But it's really like every story kind of it's a big enough world that allows John to like tell a bunch of different kinds of stories. So while everything has buckets of blood and a lot of scary moments, there's going to be humor in there. There's one of the most romantic first date stories that you've ever read that also happens to be a ridiculous thing. There's the love of pets is highlighted, and there's also like a raid style vigilante trapped, but you're trapped in here with me action set piece all in there, and a whole lot more. So I'm excited for people to check it out if they haven't, or continue the story if they've checked it out before. But really it's a pleasure to publish this bad boy.
I've lent out this trade so many times. I think I bought it. I'm on my 3rd buy of the trade because I lend it out all the time. Because when you lend out a trade, you don't get them back half the time. Hence why I can only read half of my Lock and Key right now. But yeah, I love this series. I think it's great. By the way, so I did this on my campaign, like not the You Will Love, but like the other series that we've been part of. This one, following your own. And I was so proud of it. I was like, it's so great. I can't wait to show people. And I started your campaign. I was like, damn it, Tyler ripped me off. And then I was like, no, Tyler's been doing that for like 3 or 4 years. I just hadn't done it.
Yeah. And did you see it for the first time? I did a reading order, start reading here. So you should be super thrilled about that. Just a little bit lower. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I was just because I told Matt, oh,
right
there. Is this reading order really necessary though for Dig? Because I think Dig can go whenever. I mean, unless
it can, although the events of Dig trigger the start of sync number 12, which is the issue. So that is the ideal reading order, even though it's a great self-contained story.
No, it's great, and you can get you can get you can get all the individuals, or can you get the trades in the add-ons?
Yeah, we have in the add-ons you can buy individual trades, and not every individual issue, but we do have a small number of if you are that single issue collector fan, we do have a small number of complete sets available still too.
Nice.
But you can also, if you like it simple, you can get all caught up in the entire series with just 5 books, and there's a pledge for that.
Nice. Go ahead, Jared. Oh wait, sorry. Sorry, I have to go to Facebook to post, and in the Facebook, which is behind, you raised your hand, so I just automatically.
I was gonna say, I thought you were going back to my page again because there is another inappropriate 69 on my page again.
Damn it!
And I worked so hard to fix that.
No, you did, and it was amazing. It's just it's in a different spot now. It just keeps coming. It's haunting me.
We'll go back to that in a minute. All right, so let's get sync. Let's check where Voodoo's at. So this is the last one. I'm going to yell, look, guys, it's my own book. So if I did this whole thing for the faith and good of community, like, is that really me? Like, let's be honest. Is that really me? We don't want that. We don't want that reputation about me around. So hopefully you guys backed so nobody gets this wrong impression of me.
You can only run from being a good guy for so long, Travis.
Right, I can only run so long. Dude,
Travis, I've never felt simultaneously loved and threatened by somebody at the same time.
This is your first start with me, huh? All right. No, you guys have come through. I was at 115 and I started at 119 now. Lots of great supporters, guys. Thank you so much. I'm super proud of this book. I think you guys will like it. It's not as good as Sync, but it's good. And I'm working my way. It was my second book. You know, he's at book 16. When I get there, we'll get there. Not everyone can be Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm hoping to be Scottie Pippen.
I was going to say every Jordan needs a Pippen, doesn't he?
Right.
Hey, got the same amount of championship rings. You're good.
Right. So Voodoo Nations is a story about 2 missionaries who go to Brazil. They get hunted by this evil voodoo priest, Bishop Lucas. He has hunted them through New Orleans, through Mexico, to the Day of the Dead ceremony. Oh, 120. Thank you, guys. Day of the Dead ceremony, crossing over. Lots of crazy stuff happens in this book. We're 4 issues in. We're trying to wrap this up this year. So back it. So some support. You'll have angels and voodoo priests and spirits and ghosts. All sorts of really cool things here, man. So that is it.
How long is the miniseries, Travis?
5. It's 5. So there's one more. So guys, we are done. So anybody who has to leave, I see private messages, so I assume that's the thing. Anybody has to go, you're more than welcome to go. I'd like Jerry to stay because I'd like to talk about his other book. But everyone else, if you don't want to stick around, you are more than welcome to take off. I know it's late for you guys, or I think it's breakfast time for David. I don't know how.
I'm having a lovely afternoon.
Well, for me,
So, who has to go?
Yeah.
Let's like it. All right. The mid.
Great hanging with you guys.
Yeah, I got to hit it.
All right.
You
So
too, guys.
anybody
Thank you.
want to share? Let's go around real quick and just share your socials real quick. Start with David and then just keep going.
Mine down here, David T. Hazan on Instagram and Twitter. I think I'm just David Hazan on Blue Sky, but that's it for me.
All right. Evan, go. Evan?
Woven Press, WOLVEN_press on all the normal places.
Tyler?
Yeah, I kind of suck on social media in terms of putting out regular content. So hit me up on your ears on a weekly basis on the Comics Launch podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. And then I've also been putting out a newsletter on Substack at comicstribe.substack.com for more of the comic related stuff that we publish. So those are two best places to check in, and you can find the socials through there as well.
Phil?
On X, I am at the Luminardi, and on Substack, I'm at the Luminardi page 1, panel 1, 101.
Next.
Over on Instagram, you can find me at James Burton II, and I also post a lot of stuff on my website, which is angrybrainartworks.com, and I'm a part of the Scatter Comics group at scattercomics.com.
Jerry?
At Thorny Comics in all the places, Instagram and Twitter. I'm also, I think, the only Thorny Comics on Facebook. Those are the ones I mainly hit up.
Kat?
You can find me on Instagram at Life with Katie, and my website is lifewithkatie.com.
Nice. Thank you, Judah. Matt?
Best thing to do is go to linktree.com/InSymmetry Creations, INSYMMETRY Creations. All the links are there, including the Kickstarter, our Bandcamp link, all of our socials, all of Steph's articles that she writes, our blog on Substack. All the links are there, so that's the place you want to go.
All right. That's it for you guys. Anybody's got to go, please just leave. Away with you. Away with you.
Right.
Few.
Thanks, Travis.
If you have to go, go.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot. See
Love
you guys later.
All right.
Peace.
For those who are sticking around, which the only one required, I think Jerry said he has to go, but I'm making him stay.
No, I'm in. I'm all in, buddy.
I'll hang out. I'll hang out.
Hang out.
You hanging, Matt, or you leaving?
I'm staying.
The other
Poor
Matt.
Matt.
I don't know.
David's
What
Oh,
like,
I
I'm
didn't
not-
hear.
I
I
wouldn't
thought you said
leave.
man. I was like, technically, yes. That's true.
Apparently, we're going outside.
It looks like Matt's trying to shake his phone to turn it off.
It's an Etch a Sketch.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm gonna remove him because it's creepy. Okay. All right. Send me that other link, Jerry. Let's talk about that other link real quick.
Okay. Here it comes. It's in the private chat.
Okay. No, that's not it. So this book has a name attached to it. Some of us may have heard of.
And this is the only reason I wasn't worried about it. This is what I was saying earlier.
Mhm.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
But it's good. So you got Mr. Scott Steiner presents anthologies here. So it was a trade for 2 volumes, right? And now
Yep.
this is a change of formatting, kind of, right?
Yeah. So basically, 2 years ago, a group of people in the class decided to put together a trade, which was a larger anthology. They printed it as a trade paperback. It had 18 stories in it. It was a Herculean task for them to get 18, like brand new up and coming writers to all get a book, get their stories in time to print it and everything. And then a year later, a completely different group of students in the class did the same thing. So there were 2 volumes. And then neither of those groups was going to continue it. And they were looking for someone else to kind of pick up the mantle. I had been in the class for about a year at that point. So Veronica Howell was in the class with me, and we picked it up and kind of converted it into, instead of a once a year, larger trade paperback, we're doing a quarterly issue based one. So it'll be 6 or 7-ish short stories every 3 months. And this is the first issue. And Scott is, it's all people who are in his writing 101 and 102 classes through his Substack that he does. He does interviews with like Donnie Cates and like James Tynan and Josh Williamson and Kyle Higgins, all people who are like in his his class and sort of people who he's mentored along the way. And they just talk shop. They talk about the process and different genres and how to approach various kinds of storytelling in comics, in movies, in whatever you're doing. And he'll, depending on what tier you're a supporter of his Substack at, you can meet with him one-on-one. So a lot of these stories actually have gotten story notes from Scott, some feedback from Scott, or were kind of, guided by him as they were being written and created. So we're he's like super supportive, happy to put his name on it. So we're going to keep doing this for as long as he's happy to let us do it, basically.
Yeah, and as someone, so I'm in the class, which Jerry, I didn't even know I'm in the class, but I'm not as active. Like I don't know anybody else in the class. Unless you tell me you're in the class, I don't know in your class because I watch them on my leisure because I'm working. I'm trying to do comics myself, so I just kind of watch them. I don't watch them live. I'll watch them. Basically, I'll wait till I pick up comics about 3 hours away when I pick them up, and I'll blast through a couple episodes. But I love being part of it. It's a great investment, but the reason why I'm sharing that is if you're interested in the Scott's class, you can do it on a Jerry level where you're in the classes, where you're part of the community posting in the Discord or me, who's just as much part of the class, but Scott doesn't know that I'm part of it. Yeah, really, except for that, my money clears every month.
Yeah. And it's great. And just like listening to him just talk about like the process, it's so similar to, when I was in school, I wasn't like into comics yet. So I studied screenwriting and a lot of the storytelling techniques, he kind of talks about it in a lot of the same terms. So you learn a lot about that and kind of applying it to comic book creating. It's a great class. It's just like he's always been a teacher, so I think it's just, he likes talking shop and craft. He does it like us. Like he's super successful. He doesn't have to do this, but he records it and does these live shows at like midnight on like a Wednesday night, like 11 o'clock. He's going live to start the class, things like that. So he's every bit as much of a gym rat as we all are with this stuff.
Well, and one of the things I remember listening to him, just things that you don't think to ask that I learned a lot, like how he makes money at conventions, like what he makes from conventions, what optioning looks like for him. Because, you talk about these terms of optioning and, you get scared and he's like, no, I love optioning. He's like, I don't want them to ever make the movie. And I'm like, I don't want them to make the movie either. I was like, but why do you not want them to make the movie? Like, I know because I don't want to fuck up my shit. He's like, I don't want to fuck up my shit. Okay. All right. We're in the same place. Why? He's like, but you get money for options and you get a lot of money. And that's the money I live on. I'm like, I want to make the option money.
Yeah.
I would avidly opposed to all right, let's talk about this option money.
Yeah, it's really funny because the stuff he talks about will go all the way from like, here's what a story arc is and how to build one, all the way to that, where it's like the minutia of how to rotate your options so they expire and re-up every 3 months or 6 months or whatever. And you're like, I can't wait to like go back to this class in 5 years when I have something that like someone wants to pay me for,
Right.
My counterpoint is I don't care if they fuck up my shit.
Just pay me.
Like, why would I care? Give me the money, and then also give me the readers that are gonna see whatever crappy TV show you make. Like, I don't care if it's crap or good. If you get me like 5 more readers and give me a stack of money, I'm happy. Like, it's more readers than I had before that. Like,
that's
I don't know.
You sound like my wife. My wife has the exact same approach. We had an option for Granite State Punk that kind of fell through, but it was with a decent guy, and we had some talks, and like it didn't end up going. And I'm just like, I don't know. He just kind of because I was upset because he just wanted to make a punk movie. He didn't get what I was trying to do. He's just like, I would have bought any punk movie. Like literally said that in the meeting, and I was like, I'm not in. And it was like, my wife's like, we're making a fucking movie if he wants to make a movie. Like, you can make your book. I was like, all right, well,
yeah, that would be my wife in that situation. That would be my wife too. Where it's like, look, I've supported this little hobby of yours, like the art of spending thousands to make hundreds for the last however many years it's been now. Like you're gonna cash out. You're gonna cash that one property. You're gonna cash that one out and let that guy do whatever he wants with it.
Right.
Listen, that sounds fun. I'm in.
Totally.
I am also in with Steve Buscemi and anything. So Judah, joke's on you. Even though I guess
better to play the like medieval weirdo than Steve Buscemi. Like,
I will tell you though, Steve Buscemi is somehow odder as he got older. Now you're like, you're kind of getting you went from odd to like creepy. I don't know what happened. I dig it still, but it's weird.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
really
weird.
necessarily agree with creepy. I think he just has a unique face. And
He can't control that.
It's just his face.
and he's a good actor. Like,
but we have shared out the cloakroom. I actually got to submit mine. I've had one done forever. I've got to message Jerry and send it to him. I've got one, I think it's a great little initiative. I know he's. Correct me if I'm wrong because I don't pay attention too much. So his fire book, he's hired some people from the classes to do parts of that, right?
Yeah, he like gets really he gets really invested. So like I ran my Cicada Samurai script by him before I went to art with that, and he right after that he was like, I'm in, like whatever I can do. He was retweeting when I had the campaign running. He is partially responsible for that successfully funding on Kickstarter.
Nice.
So he's super supportive, and he's like, I think it is sort of like an up and coming talent pool that, if you kind of keep showing him that you're consistent and you are always coming back to him with new things and on a schedule, that you're disciplined in that way. I think he pulls people into his orbit, and then you kind of get sucked into it all, which in like the best possible way.
So what you're saying is I should probably use what I pay for. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Instead of just, one of the, because I'm Donny Cates Substack, which Donny Cates isn't even fucking in anymore.
Yeah.
I got Bendis's. Don't listen to his club, but I want them to know that I exist. So I paid them money.
Of course. No, it's a good way to do it, and you can put things in front of him and at story phase, and he'll read it and just give you feedback and like. My I don't know if you know that, Travis. My cousin is James Tynan, right?
I know that you were at his wedding, and it was weird, or at his sister's wedding, and I was like very confused by this. But
those are my cousins. So James kind of got sucked into the same, like got into comics through Scott the same way. Scott was a teacher. James was in his class, and the way that James always describes Scott is he's sort of like a story chiropractor. Like he'll read the whole thing and he'll go, this one little moment, if there's like something a little more personal, a little more something here, he'll come up with some little thing to tell you that like really kind of realigns the whole story for you in a cool way. So he's just super, he's a story wonk.
Yeah.
In the best possible way.
I one day want to sit down with your cousin James and just be honest with him. I'll be like, I hated your work. I dreaded every time I read it with the DC title. And then one day I didn't dread your work and wanted to read all of it. And I want to know what happened, James. When did we change relationships? Because I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Yep. I think honestly, I think he would probably say the same thing a little bit, like about his own work.
I want to have that conversation.
Yeah, I think now he's just he can do whatever he wants now, so he's kind of just having fun and playing with toys. It's like it's great.
Oh, I mean, I would say Nice House on the Lake and World Tree are almost the same plot, but I love it.
They're great. Have you been reading Deviant?
I love Deviant. This latest issue was so good. So good.
I haven't read the new one yet. It's good. Yeah, it's like, it's funny because he puts a little bit of himself into every one of the villains. It's always the villains. The villain in Nice House on the Lake looks just like him. It wears the same kind of glasses as him, and it's just him, like, taking his friend groups and trying to mash them together in a way that makes sense, and it became a horror story.
No, it's good. They're really good. So, but that's it. I wanted to make sure I got that promoted. That I wanted to talk. David, when do we get Nottingham? I'm excited.
April 10th, I believe, issue 11.
That cover's so good.
Soon. I'm just waiting on the cover for issue 15. So
it's got to be better than 11.
It better be.
Jerry, have you read David's Nottingham?
No, not yet.
He does it's a book from Mad Cave. Add it to your pull list for trade paperback. David takes the story of Robin Hood and makes it interesting again. And that hasn't been done since Kevin Costner and or Men in Tights, depending on which one you like.
My counterpoint is that I think the BBC did an okay job for like 2 seasons. The 3rd season was a bit rough, though.
But it's edgy, like crazy Nottingham, Game of Thrones. It's really good.
It's Mad Cave, you said?
Mad Cave, yeah.
That's
Yep.
it. Cool.
There's 2 volumes out, and then there's the Tale of Nottinghams that you could read as well.
Well,
But make sure you read the 2 volumes.
Congrats to Judah on his issue 2.
That's awesome.
Must be making 15 years, so I'm kind of shocked that I get to make my number 2 right now, dude. You got to start somewhere, man. I'm excited for David because he's wrapping something up. I think that's something I haven't got to yet. Every time I think I'm going to wrap something up, I'm like, I can do one more arc. I'll put something in.
Yeah. Issue 15 script came back with no notes, so I'm officially done. Apart from lettering, passes, and all that, little administrative stuff. Like, it's basically done, which is pretty freaking scary. Because that's 4.5 years of my life.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
That is scary. How are you feeling about that? Like setting it up, did it hit you at the script, or you're just like, oh, I got this next thing, so it's not hitting you yet?
Actually, I don't really have a next thing to work on per se. Like, I'm taking a little bit of a break, some me time, because day job plus comics is hard, as a lot of us know. But the next thing that's coming out in terms of releases, I've been done with for like 6 months in terms of the writing side of things, or more even. Actually, I've been done since like June, so more than 6 months. And what's this question? Do you collaborate through the editor, or do you approve the sketches and inks yourself? I mean, it's all a collaboration. Usually with Nottingham, there's not much to do. I'll eyeball Shane's layouts. And as long as there's no story stuff that's glaring out at me, I'll be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then I just hands off and let the man do what he does best. With other stuff, I've been a bit more hands-on. It kind of depends on the editor as well. Some editors are more sort of on the ball with project management, which gives you a bit of time to focus on what you do best. I don't know.
So,
sorry for the non-committal answer.
Well, and he's also got another book. He's got Monolith over there at Mad Cave.
And the new thing comes out in August, so very, very excited for that one.
And you can always catch up on Death Drag, because that's going to take till 2027 to come out based on the current release schedule.
Not going to comment.
No comments. I'll say it. But you have till 2027 to pick up all those issues. So but yeah, what does Earth is setting stars? I don't know, Sarah, but send them. See what happens. Here's the thing, guys. I'm a big deal, Jerry. Jerry and Kat. I am monetized on Facebook. You have no idea. I've made about $100 since.
Is that what that is? I keep seeing the stars thing. It's asking me to send stars.
Send stars, Jerry.
It's kind of like bits on Twitch, right? Where
I think it gets
a monetary value.
I think it has money associated, but I am monetized. I don't know what it means. I only get like $20. It's not like I'm not making rich money, but I have I'm addicted to a couple of phone games, so that helps.
$20 will help you. That'll help you letter a page or two.
Right.
Yeah. That'll get me back and forth to taking the kid to campus.
There you go.
So I'm monetized. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I'm monetized. But we're going to wrap this up, guys. We are going to be back next week. This will be ongoing. So for those who don't know, when I am live, I will do these things for every Thursday. For anybody who's here, if you're not funded, you're always welcome on. If you are funded, I just wait for there to be an open spot, so just kind of check out. I just want to make sure that the people who aren't funded get their chance first. But I'll be doing this every Thursday for the next couple of weeks. So, but that's it. Monetize at Chili's. Are you buying at Chili's next time? Oh yeah, Jude, I'll buy at Chili's next time. Sarah, I see that now. I've changed the star. Yeah, do it, Sarah. Give me some stars. I guess. The worst part is I don't even see that you give me stars. Like I'd like them to appear. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Maybe they do on the Facebook feed. I don't know.
I mean, they can make you see the wow face. Why can't they?
Right.
Why
Exactly.
can't you see
All right,
stars?
guys. But thank you for coming on. I'm going to do the outro video, and we are off. You guys can go to bed. Peace.
Thanks, Travis.
Bye, people.